Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we're going to be doing a powertrain comparison between the 6.4L Hemi V8 that's in the Ram Heavy Duty and the 6.7L Cummins. Now, I do need to mention that I've already posted a review with the standard output Cummins and the high output Cummins, so if you want to see those two engines compared against each other, just look up Ben Hardy Cummins powertrain comparison, something like that. I'm sure it'll pop up in YouTube search. But regardless, this is gas versus diesel in today's video. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with both of these trucks to make this powertrain comparison possible. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. And then, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So when it comes to the 6.4L Hemi, it goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it has 410 horsepower and then 429 pound-feet of torque. Now when it comes to fuel economy, we'll do a little bit of a test later in the video. Now the standard output Cummins goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's a 6.7L inline 6, if you guys are wondering. Power outputs are 370 horsepower and then 850 pound-feet of torque, and the same thing on the fuel economy side of things. We'll do a test a little bit later. So what we have here is more horsepower with the Hemi, but substantially more torque there with the Cummins. Now, before we move on to the next portion of this video, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, I try to make this comparison as fair as possible. So both of these trucks have the Rebel package on them. They're both 2500 series trucks, and they have relatively the same equipment. There are some differences. So this one happens to have a sunroof, whereas this one does not have a sunroof. And then the other thing is this one has the limited interior with the Rebel, whereas this one has the Laramie interior. But other than that, they're very similar when it comes to pickup trucks. Now, when it comes to payload with the 6.4L Hemi with this Rebel package, it's 2,879 pounds. Again, this is a 2,500. Now, with this diesel Rebel, it's 1,755 pounds, so like over 1,000 pounds less. Now, when it comes to towing capacity, the 6.4 Hemi truck is supposed to be able to tow somewhere around like 15,000 pounds. This one has a 4:10 axle ratio, whereas the Cummins is supposed to be able to tow somewhere around the 16,000 pound range. But when you only have 1,700 pounds of payload, all I gotta say is good luck, because you pretty much max out your payload with the tongue weight transfer. So something that's important to mention is going to be cost. So the 6.4 Hemi is standard. It's a no-cost option, whereas this diesel right here at the line item, $9,695 is how much you have to pay to upgrade to the diesel. With that being said, let's take the trucks out, drive them, see how the engines perform compared to each other, and then also see what the fuel economy difference is with the trucks. Okay, well, we are setting off in the gas-powered Rebel. Now, I do need to mention, I'm going to be using this driving clip for the gas Rebel video, and then also for the diesel versus 6.4 Hemi video. Now, I do need to go to the fuel economy tab. So we're gonna, okay, so we're resetting the trip computer, so we can see what the fuel economy is after our test route. It's not going to be like the most amazing fuel economy test on the planet, but you know, it'll be better than nothing. So anyways, initially setting off, love the responsiveness of the 6.4 Hemi. It's definitely got some oomph to it, that's for sure. All the snow is falling off the roof. It keeps snowing here in Utah, which is super strange, but it is what it is. It's pretty smooth. This one has the rear air suspension. And something that's super interesting with these two trucks is there's only like a $6,000 price difference between them. One has the gas and one has the diesel, and it's because this one's like optioned out super weird with like all these random options, whereas that one is basically just like a limited Rebel, so with a diesel obviously. But yeah, ride quality is, it's pretty good for a heavy duty truck. It's got this nice like kind of like light feel for such a large pickup truck. And I will say, I'm not really having to get into it to keep the truck going. And this Rebel package has larger tires. It's got like 33s. Squishy brakes, that's just an HD truck thing. It's always interesting to see. Oh, I guess that they're redoing the road here. That is ugly. Wow. Good torque. That's impressive. That is impressive. Wait, did it just reset the trip computer again? I thought they already had it reset. Did I mess up? Yeah, what the heck? It reset it to like 19. You guys saw that. I reset it at the beginning. I guess I'll have to do another loop around. That's weird. Because I totally reset that at the beginning. Maybe I didn't hold it down for long enough. But regardless, really good torque out of the powertrain. Smooth too. And we'll get an acceleration here at the last turn before I do another like little loop around. But I will say I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this engine. I think it's got good torque. I think it's got good power. I think it sounds great. And you know, for a gas engine and a heavy duty, it does a good job. And here, we'll get our acceleration here. Oh. Yeah, this thing can move. This thing can move, that's for sure. Okay, so our fuel economy rating is about 12 miles per gallon. 11.9 now. Okay, so we're gonna set off in the diesel and we're gonna make sure it's reset this time before we set off. Okay, now I'm suspicious. It just already is showing a fuel economy rating. Okay, I guess it's instant with the fuel economy rating showing. Whatever, so we got to reset. We are good to go. Let us set off in the diesel. Now, first off, I can tell you the truck feels way different. Like, I almost feel like I'm driving a completely different pickup truck. Like, the actual, like, you know, size is obviously the same, but like this feels heavier. Like the front end, right? That's where most of the weight is, and you can feel it driving it. Now, the 6.4 Hemi I feel like is really responsive. This is really responsive too, but in a different way. It's all torque. So this is all about. And so it's like I'm just like lightly getting in the pedal and letting the torque carry me through, whereas with 6.4 Hemi just kind of just punches hard. So it's a different experience. Now, I don't think this one has, yeah, this one doesn't have the rear air suspension, so I can actually tell you it's bumpier. Now, I'm not sure if that's just because of the rear air suspension or because the diesel, but I will say in the past, when I've driven, you know, Hemi trucks back to back with diesel trucks, the diesels always seem to be firmer with the ride, which makes sense, right? They got to beef up the shocks a little bit to handle the extra weight. So that means the ride quality, again, is not going to be as good. So that is something to note. I will say I love the torque. Love the sound too. 6.4 Hemi sounds good. Oh, we got lots of snow falling from the top. 6.4 Hemi sounds really good, but this, I don't know, you can't, it's hard to beat a diesel. It really is hard to beat a diesel. But yeah, really good torque. I mean, it just carries you. It's fun. Got a green light for once. Takes a second for the turbos to happen, but once they do, it feels powerful. I will say the 6.4 Hemi, like at least at low speeds and everything, it feels like better. It, obviously not nearly as torquey, but it just like, it punches hard. It's a lot better than I expected it to be. We're somehow getting worse fuel economy in the diesel. Again, I redid the loop in the 6.4 Hemi. I reset it at the beginning. So that's interesting. The diesel on this short trek would get worse. You usually expect diesel to get better fuel economy. But the new 8-speed automatic transmission is a lot better than this 6-speed. So I think that could be part of it. And then the other thing to note is, right, the fuel economy in this is not going to dip as low while towing, whereas with a 6.4 Hemi, it would dip lower under a load. Gosh, gotta love that sound. The other thing that the 6.4 Hemi doesn't have, that this has, a diesel exhaust brake, obviously. So we're on our final stretch. We're getting 99 miles per gallon. Yeah, there we go. Almost 99 miles per gallon. So this is where I give you guys the fuel economy reading, is just popping in right here. And 10.9 miles per gallon. So we got worse fuel economy in the diesel, 11 miles per gallon. So now that our comparison is done, let's come to some conclusions. So first off, the 6.4 Hemi makes more sense when it comes to payload. It has a higher payload capacity because it's a lighter engine, and that leads to better ride quality when you drive it, and then also it just has like a lighter feel, so it feels like it's a little bit easier to handle. And then on top of that, the fuel economy, at least unloaded, isn't all that different between the trucks. Again, the 6.4 Hemi actually got slightly better fuel economy with our little driving route. And so I think that for a lot of people, if you're not going to be towing all that often, the 6.4 Hemi is the route to go. It's less expensive in terms of the purchase price of the powertrain. It's going to be less expensive to maintain compared to the diesel. You're not going to have to deal with DEF. And it's like you only deal with all that diesel stuff if you're actually going to use the diesel truck to do diesel truck things, i.e. towing all the time, which is a thing that you can't necessarily do with this diesel because the payload capacity is so low. Again, 1,700 pounds. It's like, yeah, it's all over the place. But anyways, let me know which powertrain you think is the best. I'm going to give the 6.4 Hemi the win in today's video because I think that the payload capacity that provides with the pickup truck and the fuel economy and just the practicality, the cost and everything, I think it's the better route to go. Anyways, I'll see ya.